history. They only have Electro left on their side.
That was quite an unfortunate event for the side of
team. And Nick was kind of having a hard time to land that shots onto
speaking of Nick. Oh my, that almost brought him down. And
Jasper.
Jasper actually worked it out real fine. Right
Yeah,
there.
Jasper is one of the most aggressive player in the whole tournament right now. He top of the chart, which is toppled up D2E and G9's ranking before.
Yeah.
He's actually getting at the start of the day, he got himself 21 kills. 21 kills, and
21
the rest
kills.
of RRQ, the maximum they have is 17. That's a big difference there.
And the one that actually came pretty close is actually Zuxi from Bigetron Esports. He also managed to rake up a total of 7 kills for the team. And to top it off, it's not as high as what Jasper had yesterday. It was 13, but it's not too far if you want to actually make that sort of comparison. Inside of Lost Notice, we do see X Team actually sharing this spot, and Onic Esports, they move towards the southern edge. That's where they spot out the members coming from the side of Purple Mood. Now, looking at the south side, we know that it's going to be a struggle for VIP as well as YOODO Gang to actually get in because there's so many different layers, but look at what we have over on the northwest.
Oh, that is another heavily populated area as well. We look at how many teams they have to pass through. Special victims way far off behind might be bumming into RRQ, which have Goldencat just next to them. But then speaking of ILLUMINATE, I wanted to ask before, why is it they are not performing as aggressive as the weekly tournament?
Well, I think that they might have some miscommunication coming into some of these other games that we saw yesterday where they were challenging Box Gaming out in the open, where Box Gaming definitely had the vantage point. And they still took that fight head on. They didn't really know which areas that they could cover, and they were moving relatively slow to the circle as compared to every other team. So it's either they have to pick up those fights, break up those kills. So it's like a 50-50. If you win those trades, you get a high volume of kills by the end of the game, or if you don't, you get wiped out. Like how we saw Evos just take out ILLUMINATE the Murder in the previous round.
Exactly, but at the current state, like you know, they really have to step up the games. Or maybe one of another reason is all the other teams are finally showing their trump card. They are holding that strategy, not showing it off in the weekly tournament, and just barely made it, and don't want to show off too much. So they really need to get all their goods on the table right now for every single game. Every single team, sorry, is actually stepping up their game. We haven't seen, like, for example, Goldencat back then was really, really passive.
Yeah, that is true. And I feel like for some of these guys, they know how to play, you know, offline events back at home, their own respective regions very well. One or 2 day sort of rounds for them is easier for them to actually cope than to play a total long league of 5 weeks. Back-to-back 120 games, so that requires a whole lot of stamina. So once they got that 2 weeks break, and now back in the grand finals, I gotta say all 16 teams are sort of even up. That's a little bit of great right smack in the middle. I wonder who's gonna be able to get some of the goodies right there.
Looking at Geek. Well, YOODO Gang, speaking of this team, they were top Malaysia bet in the tournament. But they are not getting the right position this time. They are sloping off or just really, really not doing great because I haven't seen them on top 5 at all.
Oh, I gotta say that, yeah, I agree with you that YOODO Gang usually is a little bit passive towards the first 15 minutes of the game. And 15 minutes onwards around phase number 5, that's where they start to try to pick up some couple of fights, couple of kills as well. Now, looking at VIP squad, they managed to clinch the first chicken dinner, and yesterday they struggled to perform much later on throughout the day. And I think that this time, if they do get yet another chicken dinner, they might be on their way to Berlin.
For VIP, you mean? But yeah. Then that's the thing. I told you so. Even though WAW got themselves a very luxurious airdrop there, so they might be looted up, stocked up there. Oh my goodness, this is what they really want.
Oh yeah, we've seen
some
a very good crazy snipes in the previous round, and we
minivan. or minibus, whatever you call it. It's one of the tankiest vehicle, 4,000 HP at that. So you have to really, really take it down for a lot of bullets. But one of the best barricade in open field is very good to use and can cover you up very well. The problem is it's only very slow, up to only 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
And like you were talking before, for VIP, right? They really have to be consistent top 5. If they get one chicken in it, it's fine if you don't get that much kill. Just one more chicken in it and consistently getting top 5 is more than enough for you to secure.
Same goes to Illuminate the Murder. It seems
Yep.
like he manages to find Zuxi, clips one bullet through his vest, and lucky enough it wasn't a headshot, or else BTR members have to get some members straight to support Zuxi in that situation.
Zuxi just gonna build it.
Right now.
There's so many people just gonna crush him up straight on the face, and he just decided with a very, very good decision, running away from that. But Victim, what really happened on the other side?
Victim actually getting some members in an accident when crashing into its defenses, I would believe. But Limited Murder managed to pressure off Bigetron members, and one great snipe come from Luxi actually got one of these guys from Victim down on the ground. Just to correct myself, it wasn't Victim, it was Kupao from WAW Esports.
Yep, looking at WAW, they are challenging Bigetron. They are on civil war for both Indonesian team. Really want to take up the fight. Exchanges fired. There are some clips here as Ryzen just gonna rotate away in a better position. Luxi is doing the same thing too.
Yeah, inside the graveyard is going to be a little bit of a tough place to actually fight things off. You can see there's multiple layers of angles you can actually work with. Where Ney is standing is a great place to actually snipe, but he gets spotted up by Luxi, though it's kind of like a slightly lower ridge for him to play with, but he has the exact same vantage point. The only problem is the church is kind of blocking the left side of the section instead, so WAW's going to actually regroup as we see both of these Indonesian teams just getting closer and closer.
I like how they are segregated a bit for WAW with the rest of another two of them. Nave, if I'm not mistaken, was on top of a hill just now, but they just decided to move up and clamp up in one single compound, which I prefer the coverage more if you're segregated.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you with that. But I'm thinking that they should not pick up this fight no matter what, because it's not gonna benefit them anyways. But they're up for a challenge, and I think BTR knows they got the firepower.
Bigetron is taking out the challenge because they are advancing towards WAW, while Ney and the rest of them just holding their fortress, trying to be on defensive mode.
Looking at Luxi, he's taking the highest point of the church over on the bell tower, as Fnatic have some supplies to actually distribute around the rest of the members of Bigetron Esports. Now, Rise is going to take a little bit of a peek. He does have the level 3 hitware, so it's not going to be much of a problem, even if some headshots land his way. It won't be a straight knock, unless it's an AWM, I guess.
Well, we know one of the teams got a AWM on them. If I'm not mistaken, it's WAW just now.
Yeah, it is AWM.
So that's why I say it's a bigger advantage if they take up another higher point of view, as well as something that's segregated for the rest of the team. Because you can get a wider vision and cover more angles, but they're looking at this. They're not putting up the AWM to good use.
Well, now that they're all clumped up in towards that corner of the house, all they have to do is just wait all the members out, and here comes YOODO GANK driving past. Then Rabies brings down Manpower on all the way to 20%. He's still keeping his crosshair intact. Red dot scope on his crosshairs here, and you can see that Scarl just making a lot of damage happen, and that's going to be a couple clips.
There you go. Karma hits him back straight away, being punished for Rabies. He's out in the open. They are returning fire for the rest of YOODO GANK. Is giving the covers on their captain. Almost got gigged, but so close. The explosion, though.
That was too close for comfort, and if he was inside the vehicle, that's an instant detonation, and they could not even save him right there. But let's have a look into the next phase here. WAW alongside with BTR is already inside, followed by Illuminate the Murder as well as the Evos. Here comes another spray coming from Ravis. He's not letting all these guys from YOODO GANK go, but Jimboy will be left unharmed. And I think that the side of RRQ, they are driving straight towards the section where it's heavily populated on the western end.
Exactly. For those who are coming up from the north, which it's pure skills, he's so happily in a peaceful mode because nobody will contending them on that vicinity as we speak for the time being. It won't be that long. Looking at Rabies, he's still being punished as the rest of YOODO gang still going for their sweet revenge because he has been nitpicking every single one of YOODO gang just now.
Yeah, he's fighting like a one-man army, and Manparang, the captain, being left alone. He cannot defend himself, but he's just trying to actually pressurize the rest of Xavier team. Xavier team hasn't had the perfect run throughout the day one rounds, but day number two, we see them playing very offensively. And here comes Deadshot as well, over the left side. Not sure what this is gonna be actually giving them much of an advantage, but here comes some smokes from the side of Manpower.
He needs to exit out of this compound, so that smoke will elude him for a bit to just get himself an exit route here. But the rest of YOODO gang is quite far behind, trying to get the captain of YOODO gang, the rest of Xavier's team, trying to sandwich him and surround, trying to conquering this specific compound for themselves.
Looking at the crosshairs, at the view of Goddard, they managed to get themselves some weaponry as well as a break right in front. Zico's got pointed out
so
by
close.
Big Jim Boy, but that's not going to be any of a knock. Manparan is down, so they got to send a little bit of a helping hand. And here comes Kuve going in for the invades, looking for Jim Boy. Jim Boy has to back away. There's no way that he can save him. And that boy gets destroyed.
That
Here
was
comes Deadshot with the kill.
That explosion straight away, wiping it off in that vehicle. And get down with that is actually the captain of YOODO gang, Manparang, following up behind for his death.
That was just amazing coming from Kuve. He made sure that there's nobody from YOODO gang to provide that sort of support. And Jim Boy, the moment that he arrived, he knew that it was a mistake. He could not possibly save Manparang, and they were surrounded by the rest of Xavier team. So that's good news for them. They managed to secure 2 points in hand.
But looking at Graveyard, still going for it. Bigetron and WAWD are going it for hours now. 10 years later, still going for the exchange of looks. But looking at the other side of the map, we have Evos having on this very high cliff. This is a very risky place for me to play for this terrain. Example, if you're being pushed by the blue, like it or not, you have to jump yourself into your suicide mission.
I think that there's still many places for them to actually rotate around. But for Onic Esports, they need to actually hug across, and Foxy's gonna scout out ahead. He's trying to get the views onto EXC, and maybe he might just be the first one to fall from the side of Onic. There's so many Indonesian teams actually picking up all these fights, and Evos Esports are one of those teams that hasn't risen up as of yet, but Jughead's getting closer and closer. This might just be the fight that they really want to take as they slowly approach towards the side of EXC.
EXC is trying to hold his position. He needs to build it. He knows he's been surrounded. Just gonna exit, make a big U-turn. Will it be another explosion or EXC be taken down as Knock? There goes the spray. Marine run out bullets. One more explosion by Jughead this time.
I'm not sure if this is some sort of a James Bond movie or what, but there's just too many detonation. And looking into this crosshairs of Evos Esports, I think that they're still hunting out for Onic members right there. And Evos Esports, I think they were in this position where they really had the upper hand. They've got the top side covered out. They have a perfect field of view. Though Onic, they have the safety net, but there's nothing much that they can do from there.
What has just happened? Wait for it, Contra. We were looking at WAW and Bigetron was exchanging look for a very long time, but that's the exact point the circle will end it out.
Oh yeah, and that has been quite a stronghold for some of these teams. Looking at the side of Xavier team, they're getting closer towards Team Secret as well as Purple Mood. Now, Axorus has been knocked down. Now, Sinbi managed to actually revive him for now. This is going to be a trio battle, and eventually they have to make the push in towards the graveyard. That's where Bigetron is at. WAW is already inside of the house as alas, managed to snipe away on you. Here comes CZ with the sprays as well. Straight up ahead. Kuwait gets a little bit of cover.
Oh, will this nade hit Kuwait? That's the question, because he's actually proning. Like it or not, he has to stand on his feet to just run. Oh! That's a straight-on Kobe! Hitting and knock! There's no way for Kuwait to run.
That was just such an insane nade, and that is his health getting depleted as there is a smoke coming straight from Deadshot. He should go out for a revival right now, but Team Secret also having a little bit of cover. So this is about time that Deadshot goes in to pick himself up. here comes Armjun with another takedown over on the pure skills. All 16 teams are still intact. There's a couple of stragglers getting taken off early into the game, and over on the bottom view, we have RRQ take out a challenge as well.
Oh, nobody's gonna risk themselves to save Cuvée just now, but they managed to get the reviving done when Cuvée healing himself up, while the rest of the team just joining the fray. Look at this, so many teams in a very small circle. Later, still 16 teams alive. No team being taken out entirely just yet. On the other side of the map, we see one team here being knocked. Then that is none other than Bugs, who just got finished off for GE. We still have Louis, who had played magnificently the last game.
Bigetron Esports gets to snipe away GE from Box Gaming. Kind of like a revenge kill, because last match we see Bigetron face-to-face one-on-one situation against Box Gaming, where Ryzen gets taken out there by Box Gaming. And RRQ right now, right below the stitch, have to face off against all these guys from Box Gaming, as well as over on the back, we have Evos Esports even more close by. And lucky enough, there's enough ridges for them to play around. So there's smokes as well as vehicles for them. But here comes some pressure coming from the side of Evos Esports.
Even though they are just 2 men right now, but they are pressuring RRQ with a higher ground advantage. Very well done. But you have to remember, don't be committed too much or extended the fight way too long, because there will be another team taking the advantage of what you have lost. And in current state, Jughead trying to get some sniping there and here, and they managed to get one knock. Who is Evos at the back, while there goes the smokes being popped, while the rest of the Purple Moon right now Nauen exchanging his fires and bullets against Illuminate. That spray was not being well done. Well, Illuminate managed to get one knock as Nauen on his knees right now.
You see Illuminate the Murder playing by the corners of the wall. They managed to actually take one down from the side of Purple Moon. Purple Moon could not actually go in for the rescue as of yet. The closest member will be Zooms, but it is a risk for them to take if they really need to actually save Nauen, who's still hugging by the corners of the wall. It should be a little bit of push. 1 or 2 smokes from the side of Zooms should be able to actually save him. But here comes some snipes as well coming from Foxy. And
wait
speaking
for
of
it.
snipes,
Wait.
that was one great one coming from the side of Jughead.
And looking at the other side, NRG exchanging fire with Goldencat, and Jughead just finished off Matthew at one point there.
Gonna try to finish off Otto as well. Foxy with the SKS. Spots out Nauen. Mauen from the side of NaRok Gaming already taking up the fight there as Oweji gets taken out, and Natic destroys Ravis. Here comes the push. Deadshot getting shoved away, while Esports having Kupao on the ground as well. And it has been 3 headshots for the side of Luxi for quite some time.
Looking at still 16 teams still alive, while RRQ is kind of out in the open. We have Box still holding their fort, while the rest of Evos just gonna surround and trying to finish off RRQ entirely, but they straight away pop up that smoke to get some evasions.
Crouching Tiger, hidden RRQ. Jexie's just keeping them occupied. A lot of smokes have been expended by Purple Moon, driving past Team Secret. All 4 members are actually invading the territory, but Purple Moon decided to actually move straight into the graveyard. Zooms, I'm not sure if this is going to be good for him, because he's driving straight in towards the Indonesians there. Wow, as well as Bigetron Esports meets up with Kupao. Oh no, he's straight into Takanomi.
This is such a bad position as Zoom driving into his death entirely, while the rest of Purple Moon just giving off the cover by a little bit too late. Wow, he got one knock for CZ, trying to control the barrel, but it's not good enough as they are really low in firing power as well as the numbers.
They did not guard the side, and there we go. Purple Moon falling into 15th place. That was a beautiful nade straight up ahead. Box Gaming knocks out Zico, and it is all up to Cuvée. Cuvée versus 3 members of Box. Lewis marches forward. He's going straight into the smoke. This might just be a good moment, but here comes Team Secret at the back. They're joining into the party, and this might just go either sides, as Steel 9K will be the last man coming from the side of Team Secret. Going into the smokes. Zinmi goes in for the kill still.
Well, the rest of the teams are just going to go in straight, wipe everybody off of their feet. And it seems like one after one fight, they are picking it up. Every single team that's facing them. Boxing will be the next victim for Team Secret. Oh, it will be the other way around. Mako trying to finish up. They've been climbing up. Who will win this war? It's Team Secret versus Bugs.
Oh, Marco gets knocked out by Sinbi. It's not the time to revive as of yet. Loki still left alive, trying to save Marco. Team Secret only having a few members left. Sinbi as well as Bilby is down, and it's all up to Axer. Here comes a nade. Will it be a Kobe? He needs to lob it perfectly, and it is going to push some of these cars in front of him.
My goodness.
And his health are slowly depleting. They need to save Sinbi right now. Loki, can this be the golden nade? Can it wipe out Loki right here?
Oh, there you go. The rest of Team Secret right now is kind of a history. They only have Electro left on their side.
That was quite an unfortunate event for the side of Team Secret, playing with only one member left. And they took up the fight hastily. They thought it was only X Team right there. But right below them, that is where WAW Gaming were initially pressuring X Team. And as we head straight in towards the graveyard circle, this is the appropriate ending for the final match of Miramar, because bodies are about to fall and be buried as we look for the victors. G9 will be able to pick out Foxy as he gets knocked out.
Oh my goodness, this is a very nice position for G9. Straight away with that spray, beautiful spray by Goldencat is being knocked straight on his knees. And G9 still going in, charging right in front. He's being super greedy with the kill. Explosion managed to secure himself another Evos member on his hand as the blood spilling out.
G9's gonna look for the kills. ILLUMINATE the murder goes out at number 10, and this is such a bad round for the guys of ILLUMINATE as RRQ still managing to find the concept, already being brought down low, and he's down with only one half health left. Oro with that AUG spray was so impeccable that he managed to control it so well.
Oh, we have the victim coming up from behind, creeping to get the rest of health that have on Oro, but he still managed to secure himself a little bit Proning's position cover with the hills to heal himself for the time being. But Waltz trying to tap on Loki, who's really covered up with the smoke there. While the rest of BTR, Zuxi is going into straight, charging into the small apartment, but trying to nitpicking the rest of WAW team.
Top side, and now looking to actually pick up Axer as well. He sees a little bit movement, but looks like Zuxi may find a little bit more angles here. Might just pick up Aro as well, but Ryzen will destroy Axer. Goodbye, Team Secret.
They got themselves a very low position as Team Secret just secured an 8th place there.
Now this is gonna be a tough run. Evos only having one member. He spots out Win. Here comes the spray down there. He has his head popping out, but not many bullets on that AUG. He's going for the reload. Still pressuring over the side of Win.
Oh, this is a very nice pixel shot. He will go for the win. Oh my god, it's not getting the pixel done.
Run?
There's
can't
no
even
way.
run at all.
Cannot.
He could have possibly done something. Is he trying to help him out with his smoke?
I'm not sure.
Goodness. Oh, Zuxi dropping in a nade. Will knock out the few from the side of Pure Skills. Going in for the invade as he soaks up a little bit more damage. Here comes the blue as well. He needs to pump out the first 8 kit. And everyone just stuck in a rut. There's not many places for them to run. But QB will be knocked out there by Aro. And there goes to Victim Esports as well.
Well, Zuxi just gonna finish up and securing this kills here. Well, was still gonna be down. And that's Pure Skill as a history, as we hear the crowd is so hype up crazy as the Indonesian team take up their crown there.
Loki still outside of the zone, Nate all by himself as well. And this is between RRQ as well as Bigetron. You scared all the crowd roaring, chanting out for Bigetron as Bigetron Esports have the numbers advantage. But Ernie, we've seen him clutch it before. Can he pull out a miracle here? Because NaRok's got the top side covered. And if he plays from the lower side, this is where Ryzen might just actually get him. This might be hard. He's going outside of the blue. He's trying to hide. He knows there's no place to run. There's not much that he can do. He's trying to heal up. This game might be in the hands of Bigetron. What in the world? What just happened? He rocked out, and WAW Gaming is now number 2.
There goes RAQ, secured himself at 3rd place. While we have only 2 teams left, Loki will be out with that clipping and chipping off by the blue. And this is a Bigetron game. The Indonesian roaring out as they got themselves a chicken dinner.
that was a perfect round from start to finish. Bigetron Esports, we see them going into the graveyard, and they had this section control. They shared with WAW, but WAW was taken out by the rest of the guys. And we see snipes after snipes after snipes from all these guys of Bigetron. And Luxy, my oh my, Luxy definitely shined it out throughout the game. And congratulations to Bigetron Esports for taking this match.
That was crazy. I have no voice to shout anymore. I'm sorry, earphone users, but the game is insane. Ernie, I never seen Ernie running from a fight before.
Yeah.
That was the first time Ernie going in to tank the blue just to make sure he survived long enough. But that was the first time I'm looking at RAQ don't go out for a fight.
Well, I definitely agree with you, but he knows his situation that he's getting cornered up. He's getting surrounded by all these guys of Bigetron Esports, and they managed to keep themselves so healthy that although they were actually picking people off, none of them actually gotten damaged all too much. So if Ernie were to go on with the fight, the best he could do is just rake up that 1 point, and hopefully Box Gaming would be wiped out outside of the zone. And this game itself, even Team Secret, was pincered by Box Gaming.
Exactly.
After taking that fight, Box Gaming could not even run into its circle. And Team Pure Skills, good positioning, but not good enough.
The thing is, WAW and Bigetron has been in that vicinity, in that particular compound in graveyard for the longest time I've seen. They didn't nitpicking anybody or didn't expose themselves yet. We didn't hear any open fires till almost like 10 minutes or so. Then till the late game they try to sustain, but Bigetron stays in that composition with that vicinity for a very long time. They're being defensive all the time, but managed to get that chicken dinner for all the teams that picking up fights with them.
You can see them just playing from atop the roofs. They also have so many different sections covered. And when I broke down the section of graveyard, you have the hills area where that's a good sniping point. That's where a lot of teams are, but they don't have any form of coverage. So most of these teams were taking fights after fights, and we saw RRQ. They were stuck in that small little ditch, sandwiched by all these members of Evos Esports. And Evos, though they lasted really long, they had to actually get themselves covered up as well, because there's not many places for them to hide. So with this sort of reason, I feel like the best advantage point, the best advantage definitely fell in the hand of Bigetron Esports, taking that win away. And with this, although they didn't secure the previous round inside Erangel, they managed to buckle up and pick this second chicken dinner for themselves.
Exactly, and there are 3 teams with 2 chicken dinners, but what I know for sure, they will change a lot of ranking charts later. We're gonna go and see what really, and topping off the chart in the ranking board right now for the last game. The top 16 or the bottom 16 as we call it. Goldencat is not getting any points at all, while VIP squad, they were doing great last few games, but this time around, they are really at the bottom 15. Pubg is on 14, while we have GANK, YOODO gang at 13. ILLUMINATE got themselves no kill at all for the first time. I'm looking at this at 12th placement. NRG at 11. Xavier's team at 10 with 2 kills, while Victim just got themselves position points with 0 kills there.
And this is such a rough run for these guys, but over on the top 8, we see Onic Esports coming in with 11 points. Secret falls down to 7 with 12. And just having so many of these Indonesian teams in the front page is making all the fans real happy. Pure Skills coming out 6th place with 16 points, followed by WAW with 19. And on the top 4, we have Evos Esports with 22, 1 point behind RRQ. And Box Gaming outlasted RRQ, and Bigetron, of course, uncontested, total of 16 kills. They might just be the kill leader after this game.
What do you mean uncontested? They were contesting every single team that jumped right into their corners. But looking at the total ranking right now, still the bottom 3 here, X-Team, GANK, and WAW or WAW is not moving or budging at all. Still stagnant at 14 to 16 plays respectively. While looking at Pure Skills is exchanging places with Evos at 12 and 13 place. We have Onic at 11th with 94 points. Now we're hitting the top 10 with, which is the 3 digits here, with 108 point ILLUMINATE, while NRG is climbing up a bit with 121 points. The Thai team's not doing great.
Yeah, they've been falling real short, and looking at the situation right now, Bigetron rises all the way up and now they're standing at number 2. They are just so close to RRQ after that double chicken dinner, and Team Secret still on the 4th place, but getting pushed over by Purple Mood as well. And looking at Box Gaming, they managed to rise into 5th spot. This is gonna get real dramatic because all these points are so close. It could be anyone going to the PMCO Global Finals, as Victim Esports with 128 points rises up against Victim VIP Squad. As VIP Squad, though they have the double chicken, they could not perform, they did not maintain, and they slowly slip downwards.
They really need to have consistent 5 placement in that few games for VIP Squad if they want to secure the top 4 for Berlin. We're gonna go and see the highlights, what really happened in case you missed that last game.
And of course, from a lot of all these fights, we see a crazy nade coming from the side of CZ to take down some of these guys of X Team. And Purple Moon charges forward and meets up with the rest of WOW Esports as Team Secret goes head-to-head against Box Gaming members right there.
Looking at this, ILLUMINATE, while being wiped out very early, Bigetron is still holding the fort. Very nicely done. Well, the rest of the team that being wiped out, Pure Skills, is really having a hard time. But we really have to know the breaking of the game just now and listen to Pepper what they have to say for Bigetron. Just how they win.
Welcome back, and this is going to be the PUBG Mobile Club Open Southeast Asia Grand Finals recap session, and of course, gas pull indeed here. Bigetron with that amazing game here. Let's take a look at how the map happened here in the map of Miramar here. And for starters, let's take a look at the flight path. It came all the way from the southeast corner, flying towards the middle, which passes by towards Hacienda del Patrón, as well as heading towards La Cabrera here. In this situation here, Bigetron, who's always been home towards Hacienda del Patrón, was almost dead center in towards the circle here. And of course, when the circle appeared, most of these teams were struggling to find the best way to actually rotate the circle, which actually located somewhere in the vicinities of Graveyard. And one really fun fact about this was that most of the team's favorite drop spots was more on towards the western side of the map, which is somewhere we have seen, like RRQ was El Pozo, we have Goldencat was heading towards Monte Nevo, and you can see as the circle progresses as well, if you take a look at this, where most of the teams were struggling was that you can see there was at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all in towards the outer side of circle, which is heading towards the vicinities where everyone is just within this region of the circle. And because of those reasons, it allowed teams like Team Secret as well as Pure Skills who made it all the way into the final 5 of that map here. And of course, you have to give credit for RRQ, because they actually needed to rotate through all those teams here, and despite that, they still maintained their top spot. And of course, as the game progressed as well, you can see teams were also struggling to actually find the best spot here. And teams who were actually inside the circle was definitely going to be Team Secret, Pure Skills, ILLUMINATE the Murder, WOW, as well as Bigetron. And I'm surprised, despite all that, RRQ still managed to go all the way in towards the top 3. But here's a fun fact for you guys, okay? Let's take a look at this play right here from Bigetron as well as WOW. Let me enlarge this exact same moment right here. If you take a look at this play coming from them was that they actually parked a car next to a door, setting up sort of like a ballista for any kind of teams who try to push in towards their ground here. And because of that, if you open the door, this was exactly happen to this exact same spot here, where you see you can actually push off a car away, ramming almost an instant kill to anyone there, and they actually set up shop and expecting multiple offense and rotations to push in towards Bigetron. But because of that, Bigetron had such a strong defense, nobody were worried, wanted to contest against them. But as the game progressed as well, I would like to take a look at the formations coming in from Bigetron. If you take a look at this here, was that all these teams were prioritizing on those compound. Pure Skills had this compound. ILLUMINATE the Murder had the more of the outer remains of the church here and graveyard, whereas Bigetron had the vantage point, which is the highest point to see most of these players who's actually playing here. But as soon as the game progressed as well, if you notice, all these teams was actually out in the open. They were struggling to find cover, and because of those reasons, Bigetron came up on top. And as the game progresses, well, let's take a look a little bit more as the game. You can see RRQ was out in open, Box as well, Team Secret, Alexer, as well as Evos was all out in open. And I want to let you guys to pay attention to this detail here coming in from Bigetron. If you take a look at this, Zuxi actually pushed towards the outsides of the vicinities of Pure Skill, where they actually he was on the rooftop here. And if you take a look at this, is that you can see they had all visions towards Alexer, Box, and the rest of the teams. And because of this reason as well, he was super exposed to those angles. They also had Luxy and Ryzen providing cover for him to actually engage in that fight here. And because of that, they had took advantage of all the information they did and just punished everyone who was outside, out in the open, and they just went for that huge clutch. And as the game progressed as well, this clutch here from Zuxi, just throwing the nade, delaying, they sent Zuxi to stall. Pure Skill was perfectly done, executed coming from Bigetron. And as the game progressed, they took everyone out, and there was no way for Loki, Ney, or even Ernie to clutch this in this 4-man powerhouse. It was insane stuff coming from Bigetron. Gaspo indeed, looking forward to see if whether or not they can qualify towards Berlin, because little did you know, we're down to the last 3 final match here in the PUBG Mobile Southeast Asia Grand Final. Once again, my name is ICBaby12 Young. We will be taking a short break and see what Bigetron has to say up on stage with Pepper. Take it away, Pepper.
Thanks for Terrence, and now let's have a nice round of applause for Bigetron! Congratulations, Bigetron. So Luxy and Zuxi, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Halo, nama gua Laksi. Halo, nama saya Zuxi.
Zuxi, tell me, I bet you hear all the cheers and all the screaming for you during the games, is that right? So would you like to say something for everyone?
Terima kasih semua, kalian semua yang memang luar biasa. Dan jangan lupa dukung semua tim Indonesia. Dan juga menggunakan Indonesia Gaspol!
Gaspol! Okay, Luxy, tell me, is this your very first time to have chicken dinner on the map?
Yeah.
You are so nervous. Okay, are you alright? Okay, wait, calm down. Congratulations. You got chicken dinner on Miramar. So tell me about it. Why you never have chicken dinner on the map?
I don't know. I play a lot in Miramar, like 2,000 match, and Erangel only like 100 match. But I don't know why we cannot get chicken dinner. But this time we can.
Yes, anyway, you break the curse right now. And now you are on the second place on the total ranking. And well, the RQ have 33 points ahead of you. Do you have the confidence to beat them in the next round?
Yeah, we hope we can win this tournament.
Okay, so do you think we will have another chicken dinner in the grand final?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes, let's cheer for them again! Okay, Gaspol, and I would like to remind you, all the audience on the internet, remember to get on our website, pubgmobile.com/redeem. Use the redeem codes to receive your gifts. Let's take a break. Gaspol!
Okay. Hey, okay.
Let's level up.
Up with Vivo V15 series. Vivo. Up with Vivo V15 series. Vivo.
Introducing the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge 2019, presented by Google Play. 16 top gaming creators team up with the world's top pro players. Catch all the action and drama exclusively on YouTube. With millions of PUBG Mobile fans across the world, a new generation of stars competes for fame, glory, and $250,000 in total prizes. The road to stardom opens on July 1st. Join us and vote for your favorite star.
Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open.
These guys are going to battle out in the PMCOC Grand Finals as we look towards that top 16 heat.
I'm sorry, but don't wanna talk. I need a moment before I go. It's nothing personal. I draw the blinds. They don't need to see me cry. 'Cause even if they understand, they don't understand. So then when I'm finished, I'm all about my business and ready to save the world. I'm taking my misery, making my bitch can be everyone's favorite girl. So take aim and fly away. I've never been so wide awake. No, nobody but me can keep me safe. And I'm on my way. The black moon is on the rise, a fire burning in my eyes. No, nobody but me can keep me safe. And I'm on my way.
Lo siento mucho, pero me voy. Porque a tu lado me di cuenta que nada soy. Y me cansé de luchar y de guerrear en vano. De estar en la línea de fuego y de meter la mano. Acepto mis errores, también soy humano. Y tú no ves que lo hago porque te amo. Pero ya, no tengo más nada que hacer la que. Me voy, llegó la hora de partir. De mi propio camino, seguir lejos de ti.
So take aim and fly away. I've never been so wide awake. No, nobody but me can keep me safe. And I'm on my way. The black moon is on the rise, a fire burning in my eyes. Nobody but me can keep me safe. And I'm on my way.
Everybody, everybody, everybody.
So take the game and fight away. I've never been so wide awake. No, nobody but me can keep me safe. And I'm on my way. Blood moon is on the rise. The fire burning in my eyes. No, nobody but me can keep me safe. And I'm on my way. I'm sorry, but don't wanna talk.
Welcome back, guys, to PUBG Mobile Club Open C Grand Finals. We are almost at the end of it. We still don't know who will be going to Berlin. Everybody is very tight within that ranking points. By the way, I'm Chichu, and this is none other than Handsome Contra, a legendary data analyst, and always breaking up the game on details. Before that, we have to thank our host, which is none other than PUBG Corp, Tencent, as well as VSPN, and not forgetting our title sponsored by Vivo.
Yes, and of course, Vivo V15, with the secret weapon, you can actually outmaneuver all your enemies and come up ahead with that glorious chicken dinner. And it comes with multi-turret technology, 32 megapixel front cam, just a whole lot of amazing stuff in the phone. Don't say I haven't told you.
I like the
tell you
pop-up camera.
every single game.
The pop-up cam is very fancy. It's like, pop, I'm taking a picture. But at the same time, people will know that you're taking their picture if that pops out. No?
That's right. And you know what's picture perfect? Bigetron taking that chicken dinner inside of the Great Yacht territory where they had the perfect vantage points. As told by ICBB12, they also had a perfect support system, although they were on top of the roof, out in the open against everyone else. But the rest of the teams had no cover, and that's how they managed to secure that chicken dinner in their hands. And currently, BTR Esports is sitting at second place, and on top of the table, we still have RRQ ATHENA.
Well, ILLUMINATE is still nowhere to be seen on that top 5. They are in a very, very shaky place. Like it or not, anybody can go to second place, and they all aiming for that second place because NaRok is just so consistent. It's so hard to bring them down. And before that, this will be my last game, so we're gonna just blow the roof up. Sorry for your earphone users, though. I'm gonna shout
Don't say
a
we
lot.
haven't won you yet, because things are gonna get loud and rowdy. Now, I just summed both words out, so it became round in a way. And then this match, I believe that we might just head back into its Erangel real soon. But let's have a look into some statistics here, as we have Luxy with one of the highest damage and one of the longest distance kill range ever in the tournament so far.
We know Luxy is on the point, tip top when it comes to his sniping skills. There's no way we can see better than Luxy sniping than any. Yeah, they are very good all-rounder for a team, but Luxy as an individual, one of the best snipers we have in this tournament. Looking at Marco, there's not much difference still. He's also very good in terms of damage.
Yeah, and he's one of the captains of the team and the ones that makes all the shot calls. Meanwhile, Xavier team have a couple of great weeks and great games in week 4. Week 5, it's not too bad as well. And that's how they manage to secure that sort of consistency to head in towards the top 16 rounds. And you can see that they get an average of 3 kills, but throughout these 2 days, they dropped out relatively early. They played pretty aggressively when it's not really necessary. So I believe that didn't really give them that sort of advantage. But what do you think of YOODO gang so far?
They were doing excellent back then in the 5 weeks tournament, but this time around, they are being buried so bad, up to the point there are no place for them when it comes to top 10. They really need to fight themselves up because there's not much game to go. We have, what, only 2 games left for today.
Yeah, and now looking in towards the other rounds as well. It's going to be a couple of Erangel rounds, and this is going to be the 3rd one before we head into the final 2.
Yep.
And NRG, they are consistent from day number 1 all the way up to today. There's a couple of games that they didn't really had too much of a performance, but the first round inside of Sanhok is where they managed to squeeze into the top 3 with quite a kill volume. So I think this would position themselves into somewhere that's safe, but safe is not where you want to be. Speaking of that, we have a little bit of an information as well as what our producer says, a trash talk between some of these teams.
Let's go.
Lawan terbesar kami itu ILLUMINATE dan RRQ, karena RRQ itu yang kita lihat sebelumnya itu dia jadi juara 1 dunia, dan ILLUMINATE itu juga sebelumnya ikut di top 5 di PMSC 2018, dia juga masuk top 5 di PMSC.
Em nghĩ đối thủ lớn nhất của bọn em cho đến bây giờ thì là đội ILLUMINATE. Bởi vì đến hiện tại thì Thái Lan có 2 đội mạnh nhất là team RRQ và ILLUMINATE. Thì bọn em cũng đấu nhiều với RRQ và bọn em đã giành chiến thắng, chỉ có ILLUMINATE là bọn em vẫn còn chưa làm được.
RRQ ATHENA ว่าเป็นทีมที่เล่นกับโพซิชั่นดีแล้วก็เป็นทีมที่เซตทีมไฟดีครับมีสกิลการยิงได้ดีครับโหดมาก RRQ ครับผม Untuk RRQ dan ILLUMINATE siap ketemu kami ya. อย่าล้ม1 คนนะครับเพราะว่าอาจจะโดนผมชาร์จได้
ระวังหลังคุณให้ดีครับผม
That was, I didn't expect the last minute. They did manage a little bit trash talking, but most of them are more of respect talk instead of trash talk.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect towards RRQ ATHENA as well as ILLUMINATE the Murder, and everyone expected a whole lot from ILLUMINATE the Murder, but now down for 3 final rounds before we conclude who will be up in the running to be sent in towards the global finals of PMCO.
Everybody got ready themselves in the players' booth. Just now we were talking about Bigetron and ILLUMINATE RRQ as well. Every single team there is in this tournament is looking up on RRQ very, very much. And nonetheless, they are actually the world champion. Yes, they are the most veteran and most knowledgeable when it comes to experience. They are the most at it as well. But then this will be the fourth game of the day for our grand finals, final day. We're heading back into the classical Erangel map. Who will get their 4th chicken dinner of today? We're gonna wait and see if anybody gonna bring RRQ down from the throne.
It's make or break right now for some of these guys, and we know that ILLUMINATE the Murder, they're known as the kings of Erangel, but yesterday they did fall short. Could this be the comeback that they need? Could this be a new victor, the new representatives to head in towards the global finals for PMCO? And Southeast Asia definitely had some of the best teams to fight it off. Starting off this flight, we will fly all the way from South George into military power. So I believe this is quite a balance of a flight, don't you think?
I really like this flight, but the circle is, I wish it's something more into the south.
Okay.
I wish it's something more like painful for the players, because it has been so fair all this while for the circle. I wish we can see more circles like the one that's in the lake, where everybody was swimming and then Evos just fishing on the side of a cliff. It's so mean.
Just having Chuchu with the evil side, and we saw so many Sanhok Island ending during the league. Could this be one of the circles that might just cover up the entire island? We'll just have to wait and see. But looking at how some of the teams float, Team Secret will go back into Primos as we've seen. And a lot of all these teams had direct access into South George, as well as North George. And Team Onic will be inside the GAK region. Any sort of a difference that we can find here, it doesn't seem like we have that much, as all the teams are going to go in with the same sort of strategy, as Bigetron Esports will have to float down south.
This is a disappointing circle for me, but a very relieving circle for the rest of the players, because it's really centralized, really balanced along with the flight path just now, right in the center of it. So I don't think many teams will drop by melee base at the state, because I see Bigetron didn't drop there as well as WAW.
I think they're slowly floating in. They were still on the parachutes, but inside of shooting range, what do we have here? Jimboy might just go head-to-head against Jasper, but Jasper hasn't really found much of a weapon. Jimboy managed to get himself that VSS. 8 clips on, and I'm thinking that he's on the hunt. Jasper just running for his life. He knows that there's not much time for him left. Jimboy going on this chase, finally finds himself that M4. This might just be good for him, but the process getting pointed straight through his side, and Jasper will be the first one to fall.
There goes, nowhere to run or hide. Jimboy is making sure with that VSS, just gonna finish off as he's crawling in his death.
But here comes CZ though. I'm not sure if he could possibly save his teammate right there. But over on the other section, we have another fight going on to another member of YOODO Gang. Just hugging him out of corners there. It's going to be a 1-for-1 in that sense. As you can see, Jimboy just trying to find those angles right to take down Jasper, the top fragger of Purple Mood. And
Evos getting 2 knocks there for the Xavier's team, is struggling to stay alive. Jaxi, the captain of Evos, is doing his work well done. While the rest of Xavier is struggling to keep on surviving to the last game. Well, Jasper, even though he's the best fragger in the game right now, I guess it's a bit too soon.
A little bit too soon. And I guess this is the challenge for droppers inside shooting range. I drop here a lot when I play solo games, or even with squads. It's just an open field if you don't get a gun.
But the drop is pretty decent. But the drop is pretty decent, by the way.
It's decent, but it only spawns like a quarter of the entire shooting range. And there's only like, what, the houses, the shooting area, and the other side, most of the time, it's only maybe a spawn rate of 10 to 20%.
Exactly. But then looking at the Nova area, Bigetron, they did change. They always drop by melee base at first, but looking at the circle, they choose Nova over anything else. But where did Team Secret drop just now? Because Nova is one of the places.
I believe.
Primos, they are already fixed to the location for this tournament, because before in the league, it's either they drop around Nova or Pachinki, because Bigetron as well as RRQ is in a different group. But right now, like everybody jumbled up from A, B, and C in before. You're just gonna draw no more groups. Everybody in one game.
Yeah, everyone's all in one game, so RRQ ATHENA having that stronghold inside of Pachinki. We've seen even when every other team collapsed into its town, they managed to still survive into its a top 3 situation most of the time. Here comes Purple Moon with a little bit of movements there, still loitering around Mount Stalber, while Victim Esports booking by the double houses by the coves. Now, Victim Esports, this is where Icy Baby likes to call it the median houses, because there's so many yellow houses right in between the river. And those are good for loots, but not a solid place to actually hold on towards the territory.
You don't want to camp there. Once you get all the loots done, just camp in other places and just rotate in another place. While looking at Matthew, trying to clip a couple of the teams here, which is Xavier, again, they already lost one man. So they really need to play very safe because they are not in the best position. They are actually at number 16 right now.
Yep, looking in towards some of all these guys here. I feel like YOODO GANK, there's so much rave about YOODO GANK. There's so much rave about Onic, you know. They are usually the ones that play really passively. But because of the old habits, they don't really get much advantage against the other teams that were more trigger happy in a sense. And I really did wish that some of these guys from YOODO GANK could actually rise up to the occasion and get themselves at least that top 5 or top 3 that we see them do a whole lot inside of Erangel as well as inside of Sanhok.
You're talking about over 150 points of catching up. That's way, way too much for them at the bottom 16. Because that's what Xavier's team is like 43 points in total, while the first place RRQ right now is 200 over. And the thing is, there's only 4 teams that can get that solid, not even solid, except for the 2 teams on top. The third and fourth had to fight themselves up into the Berlin spot as well.
Yeah, I think that even Team Secret could be contested by some of the other teams as well. Purple Moon is back on track over on the 3rd place.
Don't forget Box though.
Yeah, Box Gaming as well. They're just by the corners of the top 5 spot. And Pure Skills, not too shabby after all, as we also have other teams such as Victim Esports who come up with quite an amount of kill volume, but maintaining it could be a different story.
Speaking of 4th and 5th place, right? Only the top 4 will getting themselves a little bit of shining spot for Berlin as the 3rd and 4th have to fight in preliminaries. But Box and Secret, there's only 1 point difference, 154 and 153. But we're looking at the circle right now. This circle is super important because there's not much game left, including this game. It'll be only 3 more to go. But the rest of the team are really clawing themselves up to the top 4. We're looking at Victim and everybody else as I see that so many teams are actually in the middle of a circle.
Yeah, this is still going to be quite a big round for them to eventually pick up a fight. And it's sort of similar to what we saw 2 rounds ago back in Erangel, where Team Secret alongside with Bigetron was by the edge of the cove, that I like to call it. Illuminate the Murder is still inside Razak, and if they loiter around longer, VIP Squad will try to negate them from rotating. As we speak of it, they've already got themselves cornered up, getting a couple of damage dealt through from the side of VIP Squad.
Exactly, but speaking of the circle just now, there's still hope that we can see bridge fight, right? I'm still waiting.
Very low chance. Honestly,
no, it will be very entertaining. The whole grand final, we haven't seen any evil circle at all.
Well, we still have round number 6, so if this does not happen, I'm thinking that we can keep our hopes up high for the very final match of the day.
And you with your Dinosaur Park, hopefully the final game of the day, Vikendi, they're going to give you that.
I lost hope on Dino Park ages ago, like, I don't know, 2080.
Okay, looking at the game back, NRG just passed by. Awayji is the scout. We do know that he's always alone, while the rest of Victim just gonna come out at the side, at the shore here. So I don't think they're gonna engage anytime soon like usual, unless it's the 4th circle where everybody has to migrate, do the transition into the middle of the safe zone. And looking at this state, Bigetron will want to move now. We can see the blue is actually very close to them.
Looking at Bigetron, possibly doing the secret strat again, tanking out the first phase, slowly marching up ahead after NaRok Gaming decides to actually turn away, while Rabis is taking this farmhouse over the south side of Gatka, getting closer and closer to Team Secret. Still 9K, the only lurker by the section here, and he might just try to actually scout out ahead to see whether or not is there any team. He has no clue at all, and he might actually head straight into his houses.
I wish he just wait a little bit more, because then he will be walking into his death. But I think he got the information that there's some movement inside of the house, looking at how he make a big U-turn. Hopefully, please no still. He's always the ninja for his team, but hopefully he's not the first one to be out very soon. He's going for, he's actually, I think he knows there's somebody over the compound.
Now looking at Team Secret, the rest of the teams are just exiting Primos for the time being. WAW Esports still inside the island alongside with Bigetron Esports. While over on the east, we have pure skills, taking a late approach alongside with Purple Mood. YOODO GANK, the only team over on Northern End, has already won a little bit of trade-offs early on, and that's good news for them against some of these guys of Purple Mood. Now, Xavier team in the middle of these regions of the fields. I feel like Kuwait was just trying to bait some shots.
It's kind of an open field. You don't want to be too long in that area. And I do like Dacia over UAZ, to be honest, because it's faster.
A little bit faster, I would say, but
it's a lot faster. It's actually 140 kilometers per hour instead of the UAZ, which is 130 kilometers per hour.
I still prefer the
yes,
tankiness
yeah,
that
the
you
tankiness
have.
is yes, the
Look at
advantage.
how many explosions we saw in the previous game, and
I have
you're
to
telling
agree.
me that you prefer the C.
I have to agree. Even the UAC blown up super fast by these players. They are so pro at controlling their barrels. To the point it's crazy. Even though a super fast Dacia or a motorbike, whatever it is, it's just going to shoot you down and blow you
Well,
out.
maybe a bike could be a good option if you really do
No,
prefer
you
speed.
don't want to do that because you see how they take everybody off of vehicle. These guys is crazy when it comes to controls their recoils and barrels because there's no way for you to run.
Yeah, but when it comes to controlling weapons against a motorbike, the only way that you could take them down is when the guy is just driving straight. That is just, you're just asking for people to take you down. If you're driving a bike, you can easily just outmaneuver people as if it's nothing. Speaking of outmaneuvering people, back to the Vivo 15s.
Okay, speaking of straight driving, Purple Zoom just did that last game.
Oh yeah, and,
Here, I don't know what was he thinking. He was driving straight without going a little bit zigzag and just driving into his dash straight away. They were bombarded so bad. But looking at this game right now, it's still lurking over the edges, and this time it's ILLUMINATE getting the good loot.
Now, with this weapon in hand, hopefully they do get a little bit of an edge against everybody else. There's a whole lot of fans of ILLUMINATE Murder just having a huge question mark on it. A little bit of collapse upon the side of Matoy, but not going to be able to actually get themselves damaged. Now, back then, I remember there was a glitch some time ago where if you ram your teammates hard enough, both cars might just explode, or one of it would explode. So that was pretty hilarious. I'm glad that it was being fixed already. And now there's, of course, all fair and square. Steel 9K with the DP. Now, he's got the 3 times. He spot out WAW.
But this is too fast for him to just go on alone. At the same time, the rest of Team Secret is already behind him. Well, looking at the offside here, we have ILLUMINATE taking down Goldencat.
Maxis will be knocked out with a headshot. Steady sniping coming from the side of Martin, while Team Secret still guarding the Gatka regions as well. They have been here for quite some time. WAW Esports would not have much of a problem to actually rotate, though X-Team, they were just around the vicinities as well. BTR Esports just marking by the Western Bridge here. Now, I'm not sure what the decision will be because WAW Esports have already left the spot, so they could not actually clamp them up inside bridge. So no bridge fights.
I think Bigetron is still waiting for a bridge fight because we're looking at the circle still hugging over the west bridge here. Don't be happy too soon, Contra.
Now,
it's still gonna happen.
Look at the kill cams there. Seems like Waltz managed to get themselves a snipe as well, taking out Marco right out in the open. This was where the last 2 rounds ago it did end up here, but is it going to be the same sort of story for the second time
this
coming?
is amazing. What is happening?
Okay, this is like the most solid UAZ I've ever seen because it's being lopsided and it could still hold on. And now looking for Alas.
He was looking at his own damage being returned here as GE being punished straight away, picking through too much. Pursk is already more than welcoming the shots given. They are returning damage as LS is really covered by this small compound.
A lot of damage has been done straight towards the side of Box Gaming, but they have a ditch to work with. Double the CS for coverage, but one nade from some other teams that might just go in for the nade to possibly take down the rest of Box Gaming. And remember, Box Gaming, they know how to play this place in and out, and that's how they managed to secure that chicken dinner in round number 3. No, I mean round number 2.
Oh
Just to correct
my
myself right there.
goodness, this is so bad for Marco. Nobody is trying to give him the coverage because it's just so hard just hanging on that cliff. While Alas still keeping the pressure on. Look at that, tabs keep on going, not giving them any room to breathe for Box Gaming at all.
Even if he slides downwards, it's gonna be hard for them to actually rescue him. The closest member is GE. Maybe if they do have the smokes, they can actually expend it to go for an attempt. A very risky one, just to be precise.
Man.
And this seems like a deja vu as we speak of it.
Exactly. I wish he's ended up in a little bit over the cliff there. It would be fun to watch.
A lot of wishful thinking from Choo Choo.
I like when it's hard for the players, but then it's really, really hard for them to play. But looking at this, Sue get the perfect vision just now, but he's hesitating for a moment. Right at the nick of time, Xavier managed to position themselves into the covers.
Looking at the circle, we do see on the next phase, we have a lot of crowd hogging towards the northwest section, and Team Secret still playing a real late game. A lot of spams of the bullet, but Waltz will be able to find GE for the second time around.
And Stu still nitpicking everybody, every single team that passing through him.
Second time, GE.
G is crazy, you know him, right?
I mean, Waltz, he's been so steady with the snipers, and now here comes the chase.
This
Time
is
for Foxy,
fun.
they cannot take each other out. There's just solo drivers, but Armjung getting knocked out. Can he actually be saved by the rest of Illuminated Murder? But he's driving straight in towards the territories of Bigetron Esports.
All the Indonesians are opening up their fights as Evos being fighting against RIQ. G9 just knocked one of them, while Victim is fighting against YOODO Gang right now. We're looking at WAW fighting in another team, while Bigetron managed to knock one from Illuminate and
that's
finish
an
him off
kill.
straight away.
That was such a great pickup coming from the side of Bigetron Esports. Now Victim is now hugging in one of the strongholds as NaRok will be able to find Goddard as well. Members of Illuminated Murder dropping out like flies. There's no way that they can save Goddard as NaRok will finish off yet another member of ILLUMINATE.
So there's only left for Matsai. Illuminate is really, really in a hard place to play. They really want to go for Berlin, but things are getting dim for them. RIQ is fighting head off with Evos, who's still nitpicking them here and there. Cena is not happy with it. There goes one knock for Evos. They still have 2 more to go.
4 men strong. RRQ is going for the evade. Ernie will be able to pick up Foxy. That's going to be the first blood, though there are many members on the ground. What can Evos do when RRQ goes on hunting? Ernie will be knocked out instead. There's a whole lot of damage being dealt out, but here comes the Nero going in, lobbing the nade. Could this be the Kobe as Ernie's going to charge right through. Oh, the nade just falls perfectly on the Jughead, but Aro still fights on. Ernie gets brought down to the ground, but G2E will clutch it off and remove all the members of Evos Esports.
RRQ coming back from the dead, even though they are being ambushed first, but just that clutch finished everybody off for that Indonesian team. While the rest of Team Secret just positioned themselves to get a better view on Xavier's team across the map. Getting the higher grounds here, want to open fire, but they are kind of hesitating to make sure there are nobody else gonna ambush them from the flanks or the rear.
Oh my, what just happened here? We see Goldencat having one member knocked out. Max is down on the ground once again. Matoy versus all these members. He's the last surviving guy from Illuminate the Murder, and he needs to deal with
nades.
another member. They're charging up the nades. Who will it be? Will it be Otto? Will it be Matoy? He's dropping it right in front. Oh, there we go.
That was crazy play by Matsai with his nades again. Clutching them, fighting 1 versus 3 for him alone.
And there we go. Matoy will be wiped out. Now is charging in towards the house. And here comes Goldencat, wiping out Illuminate the Murder on 15th spot again. There goes the hopes and dreams to qualify to Berlin.
Well, they have to say goodbye for now. It's not their year yet. And looking at the other side, Victim is fighting the Malaysian team YOODO Gang, while we have WAW sneaking up from behind at the corner of the map.
Now WAW just inside of a small little compound. Not much room for coverage, but they are just proning by that broken the CS. They've had a little bit more room to breathe, but YOODO Gang, they know how to play the hill section here. And now everyone's getting pushed back into Pachinki. And you know, the kings of Pachinki are waiting for them. And Purple Mood, they're slowly cutting by towards the corner here, gatekeeping the side of VIP squad.
All the rest of YOODO gang trying to position themselves for a better shot to be landing on the other side of a team. And we have everybody. Oh my goodness, he's spraying at a nothingness there. Almost hit it. Well, Box just gonna run away with a very fast pace there.
You can see YOODO gang just trying to get some taps straight towards the side of Pure Skills as Waltz. Oh my goodness, Waltz. This is the 5th time he got a headshot in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's either 5 or 4. Man, he's been knocking out GE. He's been also taking out Marco. And he kept his crosshairs sharp all the time.
How about looking at this? Wait for it.
Oh!
Contra Rabies is spraying so perfectly, beautiful. While the rest of Team Secret, while they are actually doing the migration, got caught up in between. Or Rabies trying to get a better position. We're looking at RRQ fighting off the Malaysia VIP squad. Yakuza is being knocked next. There's 3 more to go, 2 more to go. While the rest of VIP right now might be history. Team Secret.
Wow, Box Gaming going up for the fight here. Bill's gonna get knocked out. GE will be the next one to fall. It's all up to Loki right now. Alex is going toward the spray, but will be knocked out instead. Team Secret getting depleted, but Loki, 1 dot of help left, has the chance to 9K. Team Secret will be able to take down the Titans of Vietnam.
That was very, very close fight, but looking at NRG, meanwhile, they are trying to find for Xavier's team, who is camping and holding it in.
Whoa!
But there you go, Xavier's being knocked as Rick managed to get 2 kills secured on his side.
That was an insane spray down coming from the side of Rick Gazelle. And wow, like he held down the same angle and he just walked right at it. that was harsh. That was so harsh.
That was crazy, I have to say that. Like, insane plays by this play. Whoa, Pure Skills. They just landed and straight away Ernie making sure they don't get off their vehicles and they finish and blown up with that UAZ. It's a very dramatic moment for them.
Now 2 members left on the side of Pure Skills. Ernie marking the angles of PS. Alas and QB left for the side of Pure Skills. RQ now sitting in with 11 kills in total as everyone joins into the party. Here goes Alas on the ground. G9 with the spray down. It's only going to be QB left. Can QB actually save it? He's not going to be having any chance as G9 will wipe him away.
All the rest of the team trying to get G9. We're looking at Onic just join in the fray. Nick just charging in, but G9 is already more than ready with the nades going on. We have WAW versus Bigetron as a civil war between these 2 Indonesian.
Oh, he just walked right into
my
it.
goodness.
Matthew's got him exploded. G9 with the 200 IQ bomb right in front of his door.
The God 9 is doing a big clutch, fighting so many teams.
This is such a match, and now it's going to be Nick finally taking out God 9. And Nick clutching it out. He says, I'm going to remove this pass, but I won't deny that he has been causing so much havoc. But here comes Ernie trying to save G9.
Oh, Nick trying to hold it, and he hears the footstep coming up from the way. He does the wrong angle as Ernie wipe off Nick off the map. And there he goes. Onic team.
That is
history.
a valiant effort, but G9, that nade, he prepped out 2 nades. He know that someone is about to flush upwards. The moment that he climbed up, he gets knocked away, and here comes Daniel. Oh,
Rick is doing all the work he can. There's too many people on his side as the victim is kind of segregated at the time he tried to surround them. But we have another team aside of NRG. They have also Goldencat pressuring them and the big sandwich right now.
Top 10 situation, and right now another nade being sent to side of Banyu. Banyu still trying to survive, but right now if we look in towards the top charts of the kills, 3 members, all the top 3 kills is in the hands of RRQ members.
Crazy kills for these guys. They're just going frenzy for the kills. We're looking at NRG climbing down the hill trying to get a vision on Victim. Well, the rest of them are actually very prepared for the Victim to take up the fight. Awaydi is really dedicated, committed to pick up the fight and challenging Victim to fight head on.
They've already spotted out Viola's Wallace win. It's only on it that does not get the angle straight, but he's driving straight towards the side of Gnarls, and B2 passes straight through it, the side, and there goes the members of Goldencat. Here comes all the rest of RRQ storming their way through, but the vehicles are getting destroyed. Goldencat wants to find the kills, but it's not going to be enough for him to do anything at all. Purple Moon will be able to deny 1 more as Nier gets taken down.
Just now, Nier was aiming the wrong way. What was he thinking? We're looking at RRQ at the lower ground with the rest of team just gonna migrate themselves into the safe zone. It will be around the outskirts of Pachinki here. RRQ getting the taps on Team Secret being knocked.
Oh, Biu is out of the count, but still 9K takes out Luxy instead. Here comes the nades into the smoke as well. D2A getting sprayed right inside. And Luxy's just trying to take members out. He does have the UAZ, but that is a perfect spray from Geek. Straight up ahead, takes down GRX inside the smoke.
Everybody just so bloodthirsty right now. Geek trying to get another
second gun coming.
One more knock as the Indonesian team are on their knees. GRX and Nate is truly crawling themselves up, while Takanomi is too far off in the blue to give up the backup.
There is more smokes being popped up by YOODO GANK. They know that there is still more pressure coming from the side of both NRG as well as the members of RRQ. Now, Drax has managed to pick up a crate inside, so he managed to replenish a little bit of that armor.
Oh my goodness, that Nace is so damn scary. Looking at this, everybody just tossing and raining bullets and Nace all over the place.
QB's outside of the circle at this stage of the game, and I don't think it's going to be good for him. He's trying to out-heal everyone else. There is still 9 more teams, and that is not going to be a wise decision for him. Now, let's have a look into the side of the Geek, and Awayji managed to actually sprint away.
Oh no, Geek just missed that tabs, but NRG is just returning the karma on him. He's being knocked straight away while the rest of YOODO GANK trying to give up the covers. The smoke being popped. They want to revive. They need all hands on deck while Odo is down behind the UAZ. With this explosion, D2E will get another kill at that. And these teams are just crazy for kills. 14 kills for RRQ alone.
And the circle did shrink straight in towards the corners of RRQ Athena. Everyone needs to pick up this fight, and they have that perfect vantage point. Whoever pushes from the top side of the hill will get marked by both Senior as well as G9. While on the left side, we have Ernie as well as D2E. NaRok's going to be the one front-lining for the side of BTR Esports. RRQ now sitting with 15 points, and the closest one is actually GANK with 5 kills.
Wait for it, looking at that spray. One Golden is out. There's 2 more to go. RRQ team is trying to get all wiped out for the rest of the Goldencat team is trying to survive. Well, looking at this, Victim and NRG is surviving so harsh. This blue is too much for them. They have to fight themselves up into the safe zone. RRQ is trying to do the sprays. Will he get it? Will he finds the kill? He managed to take 1 victim out.
Senior going for the spray now. It's D2E securing more kills. Senior is now the kill leader, looking to blow up more of his vehicles, but it's already getting cut up. And that pixel shot matched by victim members right below the
That was crazy! What was that pixel shot? So many kills by RRQ alone.
My goodness me, these guys are just monsters in disguise. 4 members strong, and they are not stopping at all. NRG down to only 1 man alongside with Victim Esports. Bigetron is just slowly getting depleted out because Ernie is marking on them. They know that they're inside. So he's going to charge this one against Ernie.
And he missed it! No, that was just exposing himself right next to Ernie. He managed to knock him down, but Bigetron still have the hands. But there goes the spray. Ernie is on fire.
Oh, that's a
He's
double!
gonna finish up. Bigetron is in dire state right now.
Victim Esports now challenging RRQ. Can they take down the Titans from Thailand? Now, he managed to spot out Senior. He possibly could have popped him out, but this is the only member left for the side of Victim Esports. He's at the top 5 position, and he does not want to reveal his position right now. Now, Luxy is the only member left for the side of Bigetron. He's going to drop a nade straight towards the side of D2A.
22 kills for RRQ. These guys are beyond Bizarre Godzilla.
They are on the berserk mode as Drax managed to take down the final member of the side of Victim Esports. Down to 4 squads left. D2A on the hunt, looking for YOODO GANK. NRG only having a Awayji left as Luxy being able to actually tank the circle for a little bit more. It's going to be a battle between YOODO GANK versus the Kings of Pachinki, RRQ Athena.
Oh my goodness, we just saw how dominant RRQ is. 29 kills! What? Half of the population done by RRQ alone!
RRQ undeniably the strongest strongest team inside of Erangel, and now just looking outside, looking for the kill, looking for Luxy. Senior doesn't care. He says, I can tank the blue, and I'll see you in the next game.
Well, looking at this, they're knocked one down with that blue zone. While the rest of Bigetron is history, we have Luxy on his shoulders, but there's no way that pixel shot! Holy smoke! These guys are crazy!
This is undeniably the best game that we have ever seen from RRQ ATHENA, taking out everyone out inside of Erangel. And my oh my, this is a great game, and Choo Choo, we have to take a bow for all these guys hailing from Thailand, because they sit solidly at first place after this chicken there, and this is the third one for RRQ.
Contra, they literally wipe off half of the population by RRQ ATHENA alone. They got themselves over 30 kills. I'm cringing right now. That's the highest kill I've seen in this tournament as a whole.
Unleash the monsters, because the defending champions, the world champions, RRQ ATHENA, shows us why they are the team to beat.
It's like this.
And they are just looking down upon everyone to say, hey, you want to qualify to Berlin?
You have to
Get
do
through
this.
me first.
You have to fight like this. This is how the world champions do it. That's what they're trying to give the message out there.
Yeah, and they definitely show a solid message.
That's scary.
BTR, though they are top 2. I think with this second place finish, Bigetron actually managed to book themselves with a high point rating, followed by the kills that they get. But I'm not too sure about the team sitting at 3rd place and 4th place, because this could possibly shift. And RG, they managed to survive much longer. Team Secret, not too bad as well, because these are the guys really close to actually contend with the top guns.
This is the craziest game I've seen so far. I'm
baffled. I'm just baffled.
The most kills I got to see was like what? The whole tournament we've seen like 24, 23, right? This is over 30 plus, and they are just being done by RRQ ATHENA alone.
Now,
they have 64 players in the game.
Now, let's break it down and how RRQ actually controlled the whole momentum. They eliminated Evos Esports first. Eventually, they took up the fight against Goldencat. They crashed into the compound. They also took out Pure Skill members. And the rest of the teams were struggling towards the southern side.
The rest is just gone.
Yeah, everyone else had to actually battle towards the southern as well as the southwest, I would say. And by the time that all those battles somewhat finished, they revealed their location, and RRQ, they know that from that lower section there, they had a bird's eye view. All they have to worry about is Bigetron left. That's where they sent Ernie. And Ernie did that insane double kill to knock down
That
NaRok.
was crazy how he managed to see through the smoke while they are trying to reviving for
It's just
Bigetron.
200 IQ right there. 200 IQ.
No, it's over 200. I think probably 2,000 IQ at that. But he's just, I never seen they are this aggressive ever. Seriously, we thought for one point it's like, okay, everyone is catching up to RRQ ATHENA, but they're just showing up a different level of game for this point.
Yep.
It's really scary.
I've mentioned about the circle. If it goes into Pachinki, all hell will break loose. And I'm not kidding at all when I say this.
That's not even hell. That's worse than hell for the players.
Oh, I don't know. There's just different layers. But, you know, it's just RRQ just denying everyone that sort of opportunity. They say, we're just going to get those kill volumes. We're just going to wipe the floor and make sure our voices will be heard. And with this game, I gotta say, they are definitely going to Berlin. Unless if they really mess up 2 games and the other teams like Bigetron step up for 2 matches in a row, then Bigetron could still possibly knock out RRQ from the top of the table.
I think they should change it to RRK instead of RRQ. Rage and kill.
Okay. I'm not sure what that really means.
They were raging there. Haven't you seen how every single team that facing them will have to face their death instead? There's nowhere for them to come to RRQ. They are the literally a monster.
They, I guess like it suits them if they do have the Godzilla skins because
they should wear that.
They
Godzilla
should wear the Godzilla skins because it really suits them well. They are just dominating everyone else. But let's highlight some of the other teams as well.
Bigetron
was.
was.
Is not too bad.
Box Gaming managed to survive at this point, even though they were top 3 back then, but they are slowly catching up in the last few games here. We have 2 more games to go. Like it or not, everybody is just pushing themselves up on the table just to get that slot for Berlin, because they don't have much time anymore.
Yeah, and speaking of not having much time, I think teams like YOODO GANK, though they did perform this game itself, they could not possibly chase up against those points. If I do calculate it correctly, followed by not RRQ, Illuminate the Murder. Illuminate, I'm not sure what's really going on with the team. I think that it's just a little bit of a sloppiness that I've seen them playing from day number 1, day number 2 as well. I think they're not careful enough into its picking certain territories to actually book.
But don't forget, Matt Toy just now was 1 versus 4. Matt Toy just now was 1 versus 4. He managed to pick up the fight straight on. He was the only person left, for the rest of the team is already gone. But he still picked up the fight boldly, fighting head on.
Yeah.
And managed to get one naded at.
Definitely getting my respect out of that. And Matoy, he did get 1 knock, but could not actually finish off the members of Goldencat, as Gnarls lobs 1 nade in towards the door to actually finish off the rest of Illuminate the Murder, coming at 15th place. And Evos
That's a
Esports
big bummer.
Yep, that is a big problem to me. And Evos Esports were also the Indonesian favorites, other than Bigetron Esports, of course. But even Victim has already toppled them by miles ahead of it. And if we slowly calculate the point system, I think it could be anybody. It could still be Goldencat. It could still be NaRok Gaming.
All the
There's
teams,
still chances for some.
no, right now the top 10 teams all have very close scoreboard. Right now we're gonna go straight away to see what really topping off the chart right now, because we have no idea who might be going to Berlin. Looking at 16th place, Illuminate, still no kills there. They are doing really bad the last game. Got themselves the bottom 16, the first time ever. I'm looking Illuminate the first one to be out. But looking at 15th place, VIP squad got themselves chicken dinners twice, but it's not enough if they are not consistent. But looking at Evos, one of the team that most favorite by the Indonesians, got themselves at 14th. While looking at Box, they were doing great last game. I don't know what happened this time around. They got themselves 13 with only 1 kill. Onic didn't get any kills at all, but got themselves securing at 12th place. We have on 11 Xavier's team, while Purple Mood and Golden just make sure that they are actually at the top 10, as the Thai teams are doing okay.
Well, what can I say? It's just the RRQ show taking out almost everybody in the entire map. It was not 30 kills, just to correct you right there, because it's a total of 26. One of the highest mark that RRQ has ever had, followed by Bigetron Esports coming in with 25 points. That's like double, more than double than what BTR has to offer. Well, YOODO GANK coming with the same points alongside with NaRok Gaming. Victim Esports as well as WAW coming at 5th as well as 6th place with 7 points as well as 14 points respectively. And Pure Skills alongside with Secret will have 11 points as well as 10. That will conclude match number 4, as we still have 2 more rounds to go before we sum up PMACO Southeast Asia Grand Finals.
So looking at the total ranking right now, Xavier's team is not budging alongside with WAW and GANK, Simple 2 and Stagnant at 14 to 16 place here. While Evos and Onic have to obey that. They are letting Pure Skills getting up, climbing the ladder at 11th place, while they themselves got at 12 and 13. Illuminate got themselves at 11 just now, following up at 10th place there.
Yep, and let's have a look into the top of the rankings. RRQ ATHENA, 271 is the score to beat, as Bigetron Esports planning itself in towards the 200 mark as well. Purple Mood sitting at 3rd place, while Team Secret has gotten that upper hand against Box Gaming. So if they keep this one up, they might be headed into Berlin. But they are getting chased by Goldencat, NaRok Gaming, as well as Victim Esports as well. 142 points for Goldencat, 143 for the side of NaRok, and Victim Esports 145. Now, this is just a really tight scoreline between some of them, and it could just be anyone in those final 2 matches.
The thing is, they almost hit 300 points. And we're going to go into the highlight what really happened in the game for those of you who actually missed all the fights and all the kill spots. But looking at Evos going picking, keep on fighting. RRQ is just pinning everybody down alongside VIP as well in the drain. And we're looking at another fight for Box Loki trying to get everybody down but being punished instead. While NRG here was doing well, getting 2 kills at that. RRQ is on fire. Looking at that, they are frenzy in kills. While G9 is being a god, taking down a lot of teams, him alone in that tower. D2E managed to get super good kill here with nobody competing him at all. But anyhow, this is Chuchu signing off. We're gonna break it down to Terrence at the back and later with the individual players. See you guys next time.
Yuck. Ugh. Ugh. That was a crazy round here coming in from RRQ in the map of Erangel. I have speechless because that was super crazy to watch here. And for those of you wondering how exactly they won that match, here is going to be the recap for game number 4 of the map of Erangel. Let's all start off with the map here, of course. And the flight path was from the northwest corner of Georgia Pole, somewhere in the vicinities in between the North and South George here, passing through towards the school and heading towards Milta Power itself. So the circle was kind of balanced for all these teams here, but what was really surprising was that RRQ, the kings of Pochinki, well deserved of that title here. They understood perfectly on how Pochinki terrains was played here, and they understood their weakness and strength and turned their weakness into a strength here. Of course, as the circle progressed, nobody knew exactly where the final circle would be. Some of them would anticipate the circle might fall into a Fairy Pier, maybe even Gatka as well. Even Team Secret was expecting it to be somewhere within the bridges, western bridge of Milta Island. But also, as the game progressed, you can see everyone was trying to find the center point of the circle. Onic was trying to find for those compounds, Victim as well. RRQ was the only one who left to make sure that no one was heading towards Pochinki. They cleared out most of the teams there and got themselves a lot of kills. But as the circle progressed, you could see as well, RRQ was still in the vicinities of Pochinki. And every other team in this tournament as well, in the grand finals, were afraid to contest against RRQ. And because of that, they were so confident, they just stormed their way through. Wow. Now, here comes the fun factor on how they actually clutch a game. Because if you think about the terrains of Pochinki, which is south of it, is pretty much open field. Take a look at this play here. G9 was the only one in this Harry Potter tower who has perfect vision of everyone. And as soon as they heard Onic in this particular gameplay here, he knew Onic was going to rush him because they knew he was all alone. He actually set up the grenades here perfectly for Matthew to walk right in and got himself a freebie. And because of that, Onic were rendered stranded a little bit here. Do they contest G9 or not? But because of this overextension, Nick made it the call here to go for the push. But as soon as he went for this push right here, G9 saw perfectly there was only one guy from Onic, and they called in Ernie to go in for the backup. But of course, as the game progressed as well, they were in this particular vicinity here. They were out in open, pretty much no cover from any other things here. There was so much to work with, and because if you think about it, the circle forced everyone right into this point. This position right here coming from RRQ is a position of weakness where you don't have a lot of cover. But what they did was they knew everybody is not from the north side because they've already cleared the northern side of the section. And because of that, they knew everyone was in the western side. And they were pretty much, they could see every angles from the side of RRQ. All they needed to do was keep smoking at the same spot and buy time for the circle to come in, where they let the rest of the teams to actually take each other out. And as you can see, the game right here, as the game progresses, you can still see RRQ after the 6th circle, they're still smoking in that vicinity. After that, as the game progresses as well, you can still see RRQ still smoking again. They just committed at least 20 smokes at least to buy time for the rest of the teams to take each other out. And as the game progresses, you can still see they're still smoking their way as well. YOODO gang managed to get center as well. Bigetron, who pushed from the southeast corner, was A-okay for them because most of the teams were coming in from the western side. And as the game progressed once again, you can see RRQ knew as soon as the circle comes in, they bought enough time, nobody's gonna pick them off. Everyone was forced to focus on each other. This is where Senior made a huge play to pick off the rest on towards the mountainside here because they were so busy taking each other out. And as the game progressed, well-deserved win coming from RRQ. They split up their forces as well to try and monetize the northern section of the circle and just took out everyone. Despite that, RRQ played that like a breeze. You have to give credit to his G9, D2E, Ernie, and Senior. They are a beast, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, without that, that's pretty much sums up RQ's dominant performance here. I believe it was 26 kills for him. I'm not too sure exactly, but maybe let's take a look at Pepper, because I think Pepper and of course, not sure the guys from RQ would tell you more about their story. So take it away, Pepper.
Thanks for Terrence and congratulations, RRQ. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
สวัสดีครับ ชื่อ RQG9 ครับ
Wow, congratulations. This is your third chicken dinner in the grand final and it is the home circle for you in the round. And I noticed that you play very aggressively in the round. Do you change your play style?
คือเราไม่ได้เปลี่ยนวิธีการเล่นเลยครับ แค่เฟสแรก ๆ คือวงเข้ามาครับ แล้วก็เราได้ยิงฟรีแค่นั้นเอง เราเปลี่ยนวิธีการเล่นก็คือตอนเข้าไปชาร์จแค่นั้นเองครับทำให้เราได้คิวเยอะในเกมนี้ครับ
Okay, actually we try to play more passively, more carefully, but we'll bounce into another things we have to fight because they get in our ways. Okay, tell me, which team brings you the most pressure in the grand final?
BTR ILLUMINATE แล้วก็ Evos and BTR
Okay, so he said ILLUMINATE, Box Gaming, BTR, and Evos Esports. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you so much. So now let's take a break.
Let's level up.
Up with Vivo V15 series. Vivo. Up with Vivo V15 series. Vivo.
Introducing the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge 2019, presented by Google Play. 16 top gaming creators team up with the world's top pro players. Catch all the action and drama exclusively on YouTube. With millions of PUBG Mobile fans across the world, a new generation of stars competes for fame, glory, and $250,000 in total prizes. The road to stardom opens on July 1st. Join us and vote for your favorite star.
Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open.
out in the PMCOC Grand Finals as we look towards that top 16 team.
Think of how our journey started when you came into my life. You came into my life. Didn't always have the courage till you opened up my eyes. You opened up my change that I could not deny. So I've got to let you know, you make me wanna fly. You make me wanna soar. You showed me strength inside that I never knew before. 'Cause you make me wanna fly. Now fire's begun Think of how our journey started when you came into my life. You came into my life. Didn't always have the courage till you opened up my eyes. You opened up my eyes and began a change that I could not deny.
And welcome back to the PMCO Grand Finals for Southeast Asia 2019. My name is Contra here. This is IC Baby 1-2 joining us back into the caster's desk. Now, down to the final 2 rounds before we send 2 teams directly into the global finals in Berlin and 2 into the preliminary rounds for the PMCO Grand Finals in Berlin itself. And of course, not forgetting any of our hosts here, Tencent Games, Pubg Corporation, as well as VSPN for making this amazing tournament happen, and Vivo V15. We got to talk about the V15s, guys.
And of course, the secret weapon here, the Vivo V15. We've upgraded multi-turbo and game mode technology. You can outmaneuver anyone on the battlegrounds as you experience a smooth and uninterrupted gameplay here. And of course, with Vivo, here comes that glorious chicken dinner here. RRQ, ATHENA.
That was a complete...
Another chicken dinner. Kings of Pochinki. 26 kills?
26, or was it 27?
That's their all-time biggest. Even in their C League, 24 was their biggest
Even
kill
if it's
ever.
not the biggest, it's the biggest amount of kills in the grand finals ever. Now,
exactly.
Day number 2, there's just so many actions going on, and you just broke down on how RRQ ATHENA had complete control of Pochinki area. The moment that the circle zoom into them, they already know what to do from the start all the way up to the end, finishing off Evos Esports first, and then taking down the rest of the guys to find that chicken dinner in hand. Now, besides RRQ ATHENA, we already know that they've got 3 chicken dinners. Who else could possibly be the ones up and running for top 4?
Honestly speaking, it could be Bigetron, it could be Team Secret, it could be Purple Moon, it might be even the guys from
NaRok Gaming?
NaRok Gaming, maybe Yakuza perhaps as well. Anything can happen in this stage of the tournament itself because, okay, besides RRQ, they're pretty much guaranteed to Berlin, the way I see it, almost guaranteed. Whether are they remaining champion or not, or will they fall into the preliminary rounds here, because Purple Moon is also close behind them, so is Secret, so is going to be Bigetron here. These 4 teams right now are almost in a safe spot, whether they can qualify into the Berlin stages here. But before we talk a little bit more about the teams here, let's take a look at the stats. Sinbi as well as Boxes Lewis.
Yep, and speaking of the 2 of them that could possibly be the ones running in towards the prelim rounds of the global finals, and perhaps they could even contest against Bigetron, who's currently sitting on 2nd place. Now, both of these guys are somewhat similar. As you can see, they can averagely get themselves at least 1 kill, and Goldencat is also contending for this title, not too far behind Box as well as Secret.
Yes, of course. Goldencat as well. This is going to be information here. For those of you who do not know who Goldencat was, they did get a chicken dinner yesterday for themselves here. This is their performance during the Southeast Asia League here. During week 1 toward all the way to week 5 here. They had a really slow start, but still they managed to perform extremely well in the final week itself. And Goldencat, their signature logo, is definitely something you gotta be reminded of us, because their hand sign is just legitly cool. But of course, right now, Goldencat, they've got the chicken dinner. They are still not too far behind from trying to get in towards the Berlin phases here. However, another team here, the Indonesian favorites here, WAW as well. What are your thoughts here, Shaw?
Well, I believe WOW Esports have been a little bit consistent, but they haven't really secured them spot in towards getting that chicken dinner. Now, speaking of that, there's a lot of talks in the town, and let's have a look into what the teams have to say before we head straight into match number 5.
ที่เข้ารอบไปด้วยกันก็เดี๋ยวไปเจอกันครับผม Kami tidak takut pada kalian, walaupun kalian berada di posisi di atas kami tetap akan melawan kalian. Gitu aja. Tim yang lain kita akan coba untuk melawan korang sejak sedia.
And we will improve more than yesterday, because with your words and you're telling me that I'm not good, I will prove to them that I will be good enough for you guys.
Em có rất nhiều câu, nhưng mà em cũng có một câu duy nhất dành cho tất cả các đối thủ khác, đó là Việt Nam vô địch. Untuk semua musuh kami, burung hantu akan menguasai dunia.
Wow. Such a word coming from Lewis of Box Gaming. He said, at the end of the day, there will only be one, the Vietnamese team, but at
that's
this
the thing,
current time,
but
it's
that's the
RRQ.
thing. RRQ is number 1 is one thing, but Box is not too far from behind to actually qualify into his top 4 here. So the entire competition is getting more intense here. It's going down to the last 2 match here. This is gonna be the map of Vikendi, the second time in this entire grand finals here.
And it's also the final one inside of Vikendi.
And this is a chance here for Bigetron to prove themselves. Are they actually the kings of Vikendi?
Well, we're about to find out, because the last that we saw, it was ILLUMINATE the Murder dominating Vikendi, and most of the other maps as well.
Yesterday games, Bigetron won the chicken.
Yeah, it was. Yep. What are you saying is pretty correct, because Bigetron were crowned as the kings of Vikendi for the whole entire 5-week-long league. And looking at the drop points here, I think in terms of consistency of top 5, ILLUMINATE as well as RRQ has always been in the way alongside Bigetron. Evos is another contender inside of Vikendi as well. As we slowly approach this, there are so many other teams that also showed up that they've seen storming through the yesterday's round of Vikendi.
That's the thing. In grand finals, anything can happen. Underdogs can come up, can take down the top dogs. Look at ILLUMINATE the Murder. Out of nowhere, they just get taken down by all these teams here. And I didn't expect VIP Squad to step it up. Secret as well. And like, we know Team Secret has the skills, but they weren't